This year is 25 years to the exact date, November 22nd, 25 years since The Undertaker debuted in WWE. If it wasn't for that anniversary this year, there is no other reason to not blow up Survivor Series. Blow it up. Turn it into a parking lot. A lot of traditionalists whine, well, it's one of the original four. It's a big deal. History. Look, I'm as much of a WWE historian as you'll find, especially going into the early 90s. Hell, Survivor Series was the first WWF pay-per-view I ever attended live. It frequently falls on my birthday, as it does this year. So growing up, it's got and always will have a special spot in my heart. But it needs to go. Royal Rumble still works today because it sets up Mania. It's also more interesting today because of the landscape of the business. You never know who could show up. WrestleMania has only gotten bigger and better. SummerSlam, that lost a step, but WWE has done a good job bringing it back to feeling like a big deal. This past year, the whole weekend in Brooklyn was huge, and I expect that to continue over the next few years. King of the Ring, it became part of what was then called the original five, and the tournament format has just died out. They took it off pay-per-view. Occasionally, they'll bring it back for TV, free TV, but it just doesn't mean as much. When was the last King of the Ring winner that's mattered something since it's been off the pay-per-view? There's actually more of an argument that King of the Ring should be in the pay-per-view spot of November. There's a lot that could be done with it in terms of WWE's landscape with the World Title, Intercontinental US, and even NXT, if they wanted to. But Survivor Series, it's an outdated, old concept. It doesn't fit today. Survivor Series used to be great. It used to be great during a time where the product was very much not overexposed. It was one of the 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year, and that was at a time where there was limited weekly television and limited TV matches per month, sometimes per quarter, for the top stars. The mixing and matching those teams and personalities back in the day, it felt like a big deal. It felt volatile. It made Survivor Series matter. But today, no less than 12 pay-per-views a year, a couple network specials, a 3-hour Raw each week, a 2-hour SmackDown each week. Who needs Survivor Series pay-per-view when Survivor Series style matches is your main event on free TV more often than not? Survivor Series, get it out of here after this year. We'll pay homage to the dead man, and then we need to evolve and revamp the month of November. Happy birthday to me, please. TribLIVE Radio, Wrestling Reality, presented to you by Gladiators of the Cage. We got so much more. We'll talk about Alberto Del Rio. We'll talk all things WWE. We'll also have Chris Harrington come on, a specialist, an expert in WrestleNomics. He's going to break down, with no corporate spin, he's going to break down WWE's numbers and business. How well or how bad are they really doing? All that coming up here on TribLIVE Radio.